what you need to say. Say what you need to say. It's better to say too much than never to say what you need to say. Yeah.
What is up, my internet friends? It's another week, another walk and talk. Thank you for tuning in today. And as you can tell, I'm on my roof. I kind of had a late start this morning. Sorry. But I was waiting for a couple last minute questions to come through. And I actually just realized I wasted a lot of time writing down my questions because for the most part, the questions that I get on the YouTube comments, I can just read from my phone. So you know what? That's what we're gonna do today. But before we get to your questions, we have to get to your answers for last week's walk and talk. I was asking about stories with your siblings. A lot of you gave some really good answers like Joe, slideshows forever, alright Jess. But only one of you can be in the box of awesome if you're not already a permanent tenant. But we shall see who the new tenant this week shall be once we finish your questions. So with the help of technology, let's go ahead and get to them. And guys, I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm in a rush or if I'm out of breath or just out of energy. It's extremely hot today. Like, I've only been up here a couple minutes. I'm already sweating through my shirt. I'm so tempted to just go inside. I knew I couldn't walk all the way to the park and back. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get to your questions. The first question comes from the Ghost of Sabotage, and he asked, if you could write a book, who would you base the characters on and why? Okay, if I could write a book, I would base the characters on myself and my friends. Because here's the thing, here's a trick when it comes to writing. Write what you know. Don't make anything up, unless you're very imaginative. If you've got a creative mind, you can write a sci-fi story in outer space, you know, by all means. But if you're writing something and you want it to be realistic, well, if you just want to write something, period, it's always easier to write what you know. So if it's like a drama or if it's an action movie, stick to what you know. Use what you know. Don't make stuff up, because if you make stuff up, or if you don't even research it, it won't pass. Believe me, people will be like, oh, that's complete BS. So I would base the characters and even some of the things that happen in the book on myself and my friends, because I know myself, I know my friends, and I know the experiences that we've been through. So that would definitely be something worth writing, because I know it and I'd have no problem writing it, be free-flowing at that point. So yeah, that's where I would be basing my characters off of, me, my friends, and my family. So thank you for the question, and we move on to the next one, which comes from the Steel Roses, and she asked, if you had a stalker, a real-life one, would you ever confront him or her knowing they could possibly be dangerous? Thank you, Rosie, for the question. It's funny you asked this, because there's some stalker issues going around within my circle of friends, but that's not what we're talking about. If I had a real-life stalker, would I confront them? It depends on what kind of stalking they're doing. If they're just following me online all over the place, if they just like left me comments everywhere or followed everything that I did, I'd be a little weirded out, probably block the person. But if it was a real-life stalker, like you said, like they followed me home and knew where I lived and sent me text messages or called me and things like that, I'd probably confront them. If it was a he or she, I don't care. I'd probably confront them, tell them, hey, you gotta stop. I don't want to call the police on you. I understand you have something for me, but I'm not into you like that. I don't want to call the police on you, but I will if I have to. I don't want to be a dick or anything about it, but at the same time, you know, if you're invading my personal space, I'm gonna have to push back, you know? It's no difference from self-defense. Someone gets into your personal space or threatens you, you have the right to defend yourself. So yeah, I'd probably confront the person, at least ask them to stop, or at least let them be aware of it, because there's some people that tend to be stalkerish, but they don't mean to be. Because I've seen people just being nice, just some people being overly nice, because I've seen people being just really nice people online or in person, and then the person they're being nice to goes like, oh, you're kind of stalkery, and they're like, oh, that's not the case, he's just being nice, what's the big deal? So yeah, I would probably confront my stalker if I had one. But just a side note, if you feel, or if I felt that this person was a danger to himself as well as others, including, especially me, depending on what they're doing, if I felt that they were dangerous, then I probably wouldn't confront. Maybe at a distance, I'd maybe call or text if they're already contacting me that way and tell them, I don't want to get the authorities involved, but I will if you don't stop. If I felt it was dangerous, I'd probably do it in a safe way, but I'd still confront them. So thank you, Rosie, for the question. And we move on to the next one, which comes from Stank Crunk on YouTube, and he asked, with you being such a positive and nice guy, if you were given an acting role to be evil and sinister, do you think you could reach from the depths of your bad side and channel being a-hole? I won't say the whole word, a-hole. And he also asked for an example in the vlog. So I'll answer the question now and I'll give you an example in the vlog later. And here comes the wind a little bit. Okay, so here's the thing, and this is what I truly believe. Everybody, I don't care who you are, you could be be the nicest person in the world. Everybody and anybody can be a complete jerk and a-hole. It's no different. We're all the exact same. We have the same kind of brains. We all can think the same. The worst people out there are no different from the good people out there. The only difference is that the good people think before they do things. They know what's right, they know what to do and what not to do, and they follow through with it. The people that don't, they just go off of impulse, or they don't think, or they just genuinely want to be a-holes. So, that being said, yes, I can channel being a a-hole. I can be a jerk sometimes. I don't want anyone thinking I'm Mr. Perfect, because I'm not. I'm far from perfect. Like, looks-wise, I'm no Johnny Depp. Personality-wise, I'm no angel. But the thing is, I try my best to be a good person. I try my best to be understanding and to be just somebody that I personally would like. I just feel like if I don't like who I am, what makes me think other people are gonna like who I am, you know? So I try to be somebody that I like, and I'm very comfortable with who I am. I like who I am. In this situation, when it comes to acting, if I were asked to be a bad guy, oh yeah, I could totally do that. I just channel all this, any anger that I can find in me for something, even things I may have pushed aside, I just channel that to become my motivation to act and become this evil a-hole, I guess. I can show you in the vlog. I don't know how you want an example. Like, do you want me to act out an evil role or act out being really mean? I don't know. I could probably try to do something in the vlog and show you guys me being mean. I mean, I'd be acting. It wouldn't really be me, but yeah, I think I could do that. But yeah, I could totally pull off being a bad guy. It depends on what kind of bad guy you want. Do you want him to be the cocky bad guy? Do you want him to just be the evil incarnate bad guy, or what? I can probably give it a try, but I think I could pull it off. So yeah, thank you for the question, man. And I'll probably show you in the next vlog, so thanks. And we move on to the next question, which comes from, oh, it's still from Stank Crunk, sorry. He asked the second question, and normally I don't do this, but you know what, I'll go ahead and answer since I haven't had a question from you in a while. He asked what my favorite Filipino dish was. I like lechon, don't get me wrong. Roast pig is always succulent, it's always good. But pancit canton, I really like. I love noodles. You guys know me. I'm all about that. So that's my answer. Okay. So thank you for the question. We move on to the next one, and it comes from MZB1993, my friend Mike, and he asked, okay, so you're walking along and then bam, shark attack. What do you do? Okay, assuming you managed to figure out that sharks were scared of strawberries and got away, you go into the shop and then bam, strawberry attack. What do you do? No clues this time. Thanks, Mike. Okay, so first I get attacked by sharks, realize that sharks don't like strawberries, run into a shop to buy strawberries, and then strawberries attack me. What do? I eat the strawberries, and then I use the rinds of the strawberries, because when I eat them, I take a bite, and I'll keep whatever's left. I'll bite, and they'll be dead, and then I'll use whatever's left to attack the shark. Ha! Beat you! So there, that's what I would do. You didn't say the strawberries had to be whole to attack the sharks. I mean, I'm pretty sure the shark's an animal. I'm pretty sure just the scent of it would drive them back. But then here's another thing. Why are sharks out of water? Land shark? I am land shark. I can swim through water as though it were land. I'm not doing that again, but okay. Thanks, Mike, for the random question. That threw me off. Alright, the next question comes from Slideshows Forever, and he asks, does your imagination get a better of you after you've watched a horror movie? I'm thinking he means like afterwards, do I get scared, or like do I have problems walking down a dark hallway at night, things like that. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Depending if the horror movie's good. If it was entertaining and I'm just like, that was a good movie, not really. But if I genuinely felt, oh crap, that's really creepy, then yeah, I'd look down the dark hallway and be like, where's the light switch? I'm turning on the light before I go down here. Not always. When I was younger, oh yeah, totally. When I was younger, just one scene in a horror movie had me diving underneath the bed. It doesn't affect me as much now, but yeah, I mean, every once in a while I'll get those little jitters or those creeps where sometimes it'd be the middle of the night and I'd be in the bathroom and I'd be scared to look in the mirror for a long period of time, because I don't know what's gonna happen, if something will appear behind me or things like that. Yeah, those little scare factors in movies usually get me, but ultimately I'm okay. I just ignore it. I channel it out of my head as best that I can. But thank you for the question, and we move on to the next one, which comes from Alright Jess, and she asked, if you were on a desert island, yada yada yada, what 10 albums would you bring with you? Wow, that's a good one. They can be of any genre, but also, what is your opinion on vinyl? Do you think it's a shame that CDs and MP3s have taken over, or do you think that we're better off with the advance in technology? Okay, excellent question, Jess, and thank you, son, for going away for a little bit. Okay, what 10 albums would I bring? Linkin Park Hybrid Theory. Actually, it's kind of hard to think albums because I usually just go for songs. If there's a song I like, I just pick that song up. I don't go out and buy the whole album unless it's a a band that I really like. Switchfoot, I forgot what title. Beautiful Letdown, was it? I think that was it. Beautiful Letdown, or am I thinking Lifehouse? Okay, well I know most of the bands that I would bring, and it'd be their original albums I'd get. I know Linkin Park Hybrid Theory I would bring, Linkin Park Minutes to Midnight I would bring, Lifehouse, Switchfoot, Goo Goo Dolls, Foo Fighters, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication. I have to admit, Jay-Z, The Blueprint 3, I would pick that. That'd be my hip hop album. Johnny Mac's album, and Kanye West's latest album, and of course Eminem. His latest album, what is it? God, I can't think today. I actually bought that album too, Eminem's latest album. I did buy it, I forgot the name of it, but the latest one I would bring, and I think the Slim Shady EP, that's the album I would choose. I think that's more than 10, but okay, there you go. And as far as vinyl goes, I like vinyl. Honestly, I haven't dabbled with it too much. I've scratched one by accident. And I have played and listened to music on one before, but I never really dabbled or anything about, I haven't really had them. My friend Promise, who also does film and DJs and stuff, he's got crates of vinyls. And I like the art, and I appreciate how music has evolved, but I don't know, I think with the advance in technology, I think it's making it easier to share music, because I mean, you don't want to carry around a vinyl player everywhere, or a CD player for that matter. I wouldn't mind a CD player actually, but I do prefer my little MP3 player. But it really depends on the sound. If it's so heavily compressed you can barely hear the cymbals or the bass hits or whatever, then you know, what's the point? You want to hear music, you don't want to hear sound. If you want to hear sound, just stand outside, you'll hear plenty of it. So, I don't know, it's 50-50, but I think the advance in technology is, in the long run, may help music, especially with all the digital stuff, but at the end of the day, nothing beats sitting down with an instrument and recording on your own. So yeah, that's my answer. And thank you, Jess, for the question. We move on to the next one, which comes from Red Monsterification. We're continuing his scenario. He goes, you turn on the lighter and the flame flickers as to say you must go left, so you do. And after about 10 minutes of walking and thinking about what killed those bodies, you come across a door, which is where the slight breeze is coming from. You start to reach for the handle when you hear some voices on the other side. What do you do now? Okay, I'm starting to think Iron Man kind of thing here, because I'm in a cave, there's dead bodies, and now I hear voices. Are they speaking English or gibberish? That's what I would think. I'd probably listen to hear what they're saying so I can get an idea as to maybe what country I'm in, and assess the situation from there. Probably find a rock or something to defend myself in case something happens. But yeah, I just listen and try to hear what they're saying, if they're speaking in English, and try to get my bearings as to where I am in the world. So yeah, that's what I would do. So let's see what happens next, guys. And thank you, Red, for continuing this scenario. And we'll move on to the next question, and it comes from Joe Vlogs TV, and he asked, what is your favorite game or system from E3 this year? Okay, at E3, my favorite game, Uncharted 3. Hands down, I'm so looking forward to the Uncharted game. Just for the story and the multiplayer alone, it looks awesome. So I can't wait for Uncharted 3. System, the PlayStation Vita. I have the original PSP. It's okay, I don't play with it that much. But the Vita looks really, really cool. I may think about getting that, considering the price point is a lot less than what I was expecting. And I do feel bad though, because, I mean, if you watched it, or you can find the video on YouTube, it's like, they're announcing the Vita and they're like, we're gonna have 3G models and we're hooking up with America's greatest wireless provider for 3G, AT&T, and the crowd's just like, oh, I'm sorry, AT&T, whenever your name is mentioned and people just go, why? That means something's wrong with your service, alright? Fix it. We have AT&T internet here because we don't have Fios in this area yet, and it sucks. It's horrible. But anyways, enough of that rant. The PlayStation Vita and the Uncharted 3 are what I like most about E3 this year. So, thanks, Joe, for the question. And the last question comes from my friend Danny, which was a very last-minute question. She asked it just this morning. What was the very first inspiration that drove you to make your very first video or media production, and how did it inspire you to achieve it? Labbits unite. Okay. My first video production, 5 or 6 years ago at this point. Back then, I just did my own, you know, fan-made music videos. I would take like scenes from my favorite video games or anime or movies, and I would edit them to match up with a favorite song that I thought matched the mood of whatever it is I was editing it with, and try to make it like it was a music video for that movie or anime or game. And the thing that got me inspired to do that was I saw a lot of people start doing these online a long time ago. This was when YouTube was just starting. At first, people were uploading them to places like Newgrounds, or people were hosting them on their own web pages, like one video per page. And then I came across YouTube and I saw more people doing it there, but honestly, I looked at it and like, their videos sucked, and no offense to them, even though most of them were probably kids younger than I was back then. But it's just like, I saw it, I'm like, this is a beautiful song, this is a beautiful video game series, and it looks like you just put the scenes together at random. Like, you just threw them together and said, okay, there's my music video. I'm like, you gotta add some style, some art to it. And it killed me, because I'm like, I could do a better job than that. Why shouldn't I? Let's put my money where my mouth is. So I went on my laptop and I got on Windows Movie Maker, which was all I had back then, and I started editing my first animated fan music video. And I believe the first one I did was Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls to Final Fantasy VIII. I did a lot of things for Final Fantasy VIII's cutscenes. Then I got on to Rurouni Kenshin, and I had about 30 fan-made music videos for movies, anime, and mostly the Final Fantasy series for video games. And YouTube took most of them down, had a lot of Linkin Park ones. They're all still on my computer, so if anyone wants to visit, I'll show you what I got on my laptop. I have a lot, but they were taken down because of the whole copyright thing that happened. So I only have a few of them left. You can check them out. They're like the first videos. If you're on my channel, go to playlists and click on other videos. Most of them that are still online are there. My favorite one out of those that are still online is So Far Away for Final Fantasy VIII. I love that video. I still think that video was made by accident because it just looks so good to me. It's one of the first videos I made that I was super proud of, but that's what inspired me, just the fact that I'm like, I think I could do a better job. I think I could really get into this video thing. And when I saw that it came out and people really liked it and were complimenting it and leaving comments, it was really cool. So I was like, you know what, I really want to keep doing this. And then, well, we did the whole move from, because I was in the Philippines when that happened, we did the whole move from there to Pensacola, and I sort of stopped, and then I got into this vlogging thing thanks to my friends, and now here we are. So yeah, that's kind of how I started. Some Believe in Fate history for you. But thank you, Danny, for that question. We shall go ahead and finish up this walk and talk because I'm about to pass out here. It's really hot out. Okay, here we go. Our tenant for this week is Slideshows Forever, because Alright Jess and Joe, they're already in the Box of Awesome permanently, so. But Slideshows Forever, I really like your answer because the friend that you have is also an online friend, and me, I have a lot of online friends that are so near and dear to me. I know where you're coming from with your answer, so thank you. You are in the Box of Awesome for the next 7 days. And if you would like to see yourself in the Box of Awesome for another 7 days, all you have to do is answer the question of the week. This week's question is, what is your biggest pet peeve? Like, what's the one thing that just somebody does it and you're just like, don't do that? What's your biggest pet peeve? I want to know. So yeah, that is your question this week. What is your biggest pet peeve? I'm very curious. So let me know in the comment section down below, or in a video response if you feel fancy like that, and I'll feature you in the next walk and talk. Other than that, not a lot of updates this week. I'm working on the new vlog. I haven't vlogged anything this week, so I'm already behind. But I will link you guys at the end of this video to the latest vlog, where I do time-lapse now. I'm going to do one time-lapse video every vlog, so leave comments in that one if you want to see anything in particular in the time-lapse, and I'll make it for you. But other than that, you guys, I want each and every single one of you to know that all of you are the best friends and subscribers in the entire world. And as always, you guys, keep on vlogging. Whew.